Yo, before we get into this video, I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for all the massive growth we've had on this channel over the past, honestly, week and a half. Mainly because of this video right here, the Rick and Morty joint. That video is like blowing up right now, at least for me it is. I think it's at like 26,000 views at the time of this recording. So if you guys haven't seen it, make sure you guys go check it out. It's a banger. Thank you to everyone who has showed so much love. I just want to say that before we get into this video. Another thing real quick before we get into this video, I get a lot of comments saying stuff like this, that, do any of my projects function the way they're supposed to be intended for, right? And the answer is yes, okay? I make all of my projects with the intention of full functionality, okay? So to show you guys that, I'm gonna be going on Twitch, all right? So you guys wanna follow my Twitch. Every time I post a video about one of my projects, we'll be showing the functionality live on my Twitch, okay? So you guys wanna go and, show some love, come kick it with me, see how it goes, and then you guys can watch the YouTube video, see how I made it, and go check it out, see how it goes on Twitch. And then if you guys can't make it, I'll probably be posting it on either YouTube Shorts or on my Instagram, or maybe both. So make sure you guys go follow my Instagram and or check the YouTube Shorts to see how everything went. But with that being said, thank you guys so much for all the support. I love you guys. Tons of new roles coming soon. Let's get it. Yo, so the other day, my boy Elon Musk hit me up saying he saw one of my videos and said that I have major engineering capabilities. So I started getting ready for this interview. So I pulled out my best pants, my best shirt, and some of the sexiest shoes I got. And I realized, damn, I don't even have a tie. So I decided, why not make one of my own? So I came up with this, my paper tie. A tie that will get you high. So, we're trying to get to space. That's what we're going to do. We're going to get to space with my tie. Hopefully, Elon Musk sees that. And hopefully, you guys like it. I'm going to show you guys exactly how I made it. Okay, so to start off making this tie, if you couldn't tell, it's made out of paper. And not just any paper, the highest quality paper that you can find. We're going to be using this big mega roll that was sent to us by our good friends over there at Raw Papers. And we're going to go and cut ourselves out a nice sizable square. And then cut that square down the middle so we can glue them together and make one super large rolling paper. And when I say glue them together, I really mean glue them together, because as you can see, there's no gum strips. Like on regular rolling papers, you can see that gum line, you can lick it, stick it together. This does not have that, so we're gonna have to use this glue guard right here to seal them together. And when using this glue, you really want to be careful not to use too much. You don't want to like sog up the paper and like kind of tear it up. So just kind of use a little bit, just go down the line, put it together, and you can see right there I have a little bit of excess paper on the top. We're just gonna go ahead and cut that off. And now you can see we made ourselves one jumbo size rolling paper, so we can go ahead and fold it in half and kind of emulate how any other rolling paper would be. And I don't know about you, I know some people roll differently, but for me, I always roll with a tip in first. So you can see right here, got my tip good to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it to the left side since I'm a righty, and I'm gonna go ahead and start rolling. Now, rolling something this large can be pretty difficult, all right, even for someone like me who's been doing this for a while. If you do try to follow along with this, what you can do is get like a super large cone that Raw sells. I believe they're called like challenge cones or supernatural cones, one of those, and it pretty much will do the exact same thing. And as you can see right here, once we're done rolling it up, we can go ahead and just pack it down, make sure it's nice and tight. I didn't really measure anything, kind of just eyeballed it. I don't really know how long this was, kind of just used like my arm as comparison, but as you'll see at the end, it still worked out. So you can see right here, we got some excess paper, so we can go ahead and just chop it right off. So using that excess paper, we're gonna go ahead and cut out a little square and then glue it on top of the joint so it can be extra sealed and won't unravel. And then once we got that sealed down and good to go, you can see we got ourselves a little baseball bat. And now that it's all perfectly rolled up and good to go, we can go ahead and do the next step, which is squishing it down. And when squishing it down, don't be afraid to put some elbow grease into it, man. This is high quality paper. It won't tear easily, because remember, you're trying to make a tie. I don't know how many ties are circular, so you're going to make sure it's as flat as possible. And it's funny because just as I said that these won't tear easily, mine just did. But that's perfectly fine because I actually tore in the perfect spot where I have to cut it anyway, so kind of worked out. And as you can see right here, I cut it diagonally like an arrow. We're going to do the exact same thing to the other side, but before we do that, we're going to seal up this side so that the material won't be spilling out. And to do that, we're just going to cut out another little piece of paper. We're going to go and glue it on one side, fold it over the top of the opening, and then glue it on the other side. And then once that side is sealed up and good to go, we can go ahead and start cutting the other side. And then after making that second cut, you can start to see that tie shape coming together. And just as we covered the other side, we're going to do the same thing with this one. And voila, just like that, we got the front of the tie good to go. Now we're going to go ahead and move on to the end of the tie, where, the actual tying of the tie would actually take place, like the knot. So as you just saw right there, we cut off the end where the tip was, and we're going to leave it to the side, and now we're going to be making the actual knot. And for this part, I cut out another square piece of paper, and we're gonna have to roll up the fattest joint we possibly can, and I don't wanna take time rolling up a huge ass tip. So I'm gonna use this butane that I have right here. I'm gonna use the cap, and I'm gonna use it as a tip, so I can use it for the width to see how fat I want the joint to be. Now when rolling this one up, we don't need to fill it up all the way, since I'm only gonna be needing like an inch, inch and a half length. So we can go ahead and twist it at the top, take out the tip, and then we can go ahead and fold it in at the bottom to make it flat. And just as we did with the larger piece, we're going to go ahead and seal up both ends and then squish it all the way down. I tried my hardest to make sure that I squished it relatively the same size as I did the other joint. And then we're pretty much just going to be repeating the exact same process as we did with the first joint. We're going to be kind of cutting it at different angles and then sealing them right up with some paper and glue. But the only thing we're going to do a little bit differently is that when we're cutting the two different sides, we're going to leave a little bit more of a bottom so it can have a little more room, so we can actually stick the end of the tie into this little knot. So as you can see right here, the bottom of the knot is a perfect size to be able to fit the tie right in. So now all we got to do is cut a little hole at the bottom of the knot, but just making sure not to cut the hole too large so we can have the tie fit in nice and secure. And then now all we got to do is cut out two little pieces of paper so that we can go ahead and seal it up on that little seam and seal them together. And as you see, after gluing the two pieces together, it is a little bit flimsy, so we're going to have to put it to the side to make sure that it dries. And then after about 5 or 10 minutes or so, you can see it's hardened and it's a lot more sturdy. So we can go ahead and start moving on to the next step. And then it was at this point that I needed to choose which side was going to be the front and the back. And if you guys have seen any ties, I mean, I don't wear a lot of ties, but there's usually this little like strip that goes across the back that I'm pretty sure it's for when you're tying the tie, you can actually put the small end into so that it won't like it'll go flopping around. And since, this isn't a real tie and we don't have that little small piece flopping around, we're still going to put it so that we can actually use it as a little bit of a joint holder. And now that we got that good to go, all we have to do is the last step, which is actually making it a functional tie. And there's actually two ways we can do this. We can actually kind of put a little bit of a hook towards the top there and kind of, sit it right there on our top of our collar. Or we can use a string to kind of loop it into a little loop and then kind of wrap it around our neck and kind of use it like that. Now, honestly, either way could possibly work, but I decided to go with the little string method because I thought it was a little bit easier. So all we're going to do is get a little bit of a strip of paper, kind of put it from the top to the bottom of the little knot, and making a little hole so that we can go ahead and stick that little hemp wick straight through. And doing this, I had to make sure I had enough string since I'm a big boy, I got a big neck, so I got to make sure I put enough string to wrap around the entire neck. And then after we got enough string, we just kind of tie it right up, and then we're pretty much done. And if we wanted to, we could have, color any color we wanted to. Usually ties are different colors, but I decided for this project I'm going to leave it as a simple paper color because, to be honest, I just got a little bit lazy. So I'm going to wear it and show you guys the final product. So here it is, man. What do y'all think? The final product. I know I'm wearing a shirt that's like 3 sizes too small, but, that's all I got right now. But I think it came out pretty good. Also, my high ass didn't realize that I didn't even show you guys the final process, alright? I had to add this little tip. How else was this tie gonna get me high if there was no way to actually function, right? I was telling you guys all this stuff in the beginning that all my stuff functions. I forgot to even put the part that actually made it function, am I right? But here we go. Now this is complete. So yeah, man. So if you guys enjoyed this video, I really appreciate you guys. I don't know in the next video, but in the next coming videos, I was deciding that I want to take one of your guys' idea and bring it to life. Because I've got a lot of people who shoot me ideas either on Instagram or on the YouTube comments. They have a lot of good ideas. So if you have an idea for a role that you guys want to see come to life, make sure you guys leave it in the comments below. And if I decide to choose yours, I will be giving you a special little gift. So if you guys have an idea, let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for sticking around to the end of this video. Like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. We're absolutely blowing up right now, so appreciate all the love. And yeah, man, hope you guys liked the new tie. But yeah, man, thank you guys so much for sticking around, and see y'all next time.